You may be familiar with my next guest on the show. Michael Nugent is a young performer from this area. He's been in Vegas. He's been around Western New York for a long time. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's a crazy world now. We've been going through unusual circumstances. Very unusual.
Certainly is.
Well, first of all, give me a little background on your career and what you do.
Yes, so about 6 or 7 years ago, I fell in love with the Great American Songbook and the voices of Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Bobby Darin, Ella Fitzgerald, Michael Bublé, and I fell in love with that music. I'm a very old soul. And it was kind of by accident, and I decided to start singing out in public a little bit, and I just fell in love with performing and making people happy through this music. So I started to sing full time, and I never would have thought 7, 8 years ago that I would be a full-time performer. I feel very blessed.
Has it been really hard to get into that kind of a career? I mean, it's unusual. A lot of people would like to do that.
It really is, and I think you got to be slightly crazy to maybe do it, but the thing that keeps me going is that I love it so much, and to be able to bring joy to people through music that you really love, there's nothing like it, so I'm holding on to it for a while.
What's the most surprising thing that you've had to deal with since you went on this path?
Well, I would say all the people that I've met, all the experiences I've had through performing, meeting thousands and thousands of people, all shapes and sizes across all of Western New York, and it gave me the ability to follow my dream, which led me out to Las Vegas.
Well, tell me a little bit about what you've done here, and then you went out to Vegas. Give me a little bit of a history of your travels and your career.
Yes, well, about 6 years ago, I had my first performance, my first gig, you could call it, at Ilio DiPaolo's restaurant, Blaisdell. I love Dennis DiPaolo and the DiPaolo family.
That's
They've been
a great guy.
Wonderful to me. And from there, I started to get more and more gigs each month. And the very first places I started singing at after DiPaolo's were retirement communities. And they really got me going. And then before I knew it, I was doing weddings, I was doing country clubs, I was singing at people's houses, festivals, all over Western New York. And it gave me just a wonderful, wonderful insight on how music affects people.
Mm-hmm. And you performed at some of the places like Brothers of Mercy.
Yes.
And some of that must have been a very satisfying experience for you.
It really was. And I'm 26 now, but when I was 19 when I started singing, and it was a really eye-opening experience to go into these communities and see these wonderful people that are just so appreciative of this music because it's the music they grew up with. And Brothers of Mercy was one of the very first places that hired me and gave me a chance, and I'll be forever grateful to them because I probably performed there, oh goodness, dozens of times, and there's great people there.
Now, you said you're an old soul. Most of the people your age don't get into this kind of music, the kind of music that you typically perform. How did that happen? How did you develop that interest?
That's a very good question. It's something I can't explain, and I think some things in life are good left unexplained. And for example, when I was younger, I'd go in a toy store, and I would always gravitate towards the older looking toys, the steam engines instead of the diesel engines. I never wanted to play with a rocket ship. I wanted to play with an old-fashioned car, So I guess it's been a theme of my life that I've never been able to explain.
Yeah, we're friends with Frankie Shinta. We had him on the show, and you've got a connection with Frankie too, haven't you?
Yes, Frankie was very encouraging when I told him about a year ago that I was moving to Vegas, and I got to hang out with him many times in Vegas at different restaurants and lounges, and I even got to sing with him a few times. It was incredible. He is hilarious, and he represents Buffalo beautifully out there, and I got to see his show as well at the South Point Casino, and it was incredible.
He's quite the veteran. I'm sure he had some tips for you.
Yes, he is, and just watching him, I took so many mental notes when I went and saw him, and I saw the people, they were laughing, they were crying, their eyes were glued on him. He's just a master at what he does, and I'm very, very lucky to be out there and to be able to be his friend.
That's part of what makes music successful, is when you can touch people that in a way that brings out their emotions, isn't it?
That's right. That's what's really special about music. It's universal. And the one thing about this music, the Great American Songbook, it's for everybody. It's for the whole family. And it's just about old school romance. And it's got beautiful melodies, beautiful lyrics, and there's a song for everything.
Mm-hmm. Do you do any original music?
Yes, I've actually been working on a few original songs. I have a Las Vegas theme song that a friend of mine wrote that I think is really, really fun, and it is on my website. But it's good to get into original music as quickly as you can in this business, because it really can differ you from others.
Mm. Interesting. And when this Corona thing started, what were you in the middle of doing? What did it interrupt? Because we've all been interrupted with something, that we were doing.
Yes, well, I was seeing it in the news for a few months, and it was mid-March when things started to get canceled. So for the first couple of weeks of March, when I'd go into a retirement community, I'd have to use hand sanitizer and be very, very careful. And then before you knew it, the last 2 weeks of March, every single event was canceled, from weddings to country clubs, restaurants, retirement communities. And the retirement communities have been hit the most because they can't go anywhere. And it's a sad thing to see. And I feel for those people, because I've been with those people for a good 6-7 years of my life performing for them. Now,
did you say you had moved out to Las Vegas?
Yes, I moved out to Las Vegas. Last year, I arrived Super Bowl Sunday. And I had a wonderful 13 months there. And I've been home since mid-March. So I've been here in Western New York for 5 weeks, and I've enjoyed family time. But it was a wonderful 13 months, and when things are back up and running again, I will be going back and get back to work.
Okay, that's very good. And do you know anybody there or here that's actually been sick?
I'm very blessed that I don't know anybody personally.
Okay.
Very blessed.
All right, so your family's good, everybody's...
Yeah, everybody's wonderful.
Got to be good to be home with family. That's
oh,
gotta be good.
This is great. And this is great for everybody, to just put life on pause for a second and find out what's really important, I think.
You have a website that we could go to to follow what you do. It's michaelrossnugent.com.
That's right.
Okay, we'll put that on the screen.
Thank
So
you.
anybody who's interested to follow, you can do that. Give us a little background on what you're about to do on May 5th.
Well, when I got a call a few weeks ago from the ladies at Brothers of Mercy, I was very, very excited to be a part of this event. And it's an event where we're going to bring joy to the people of Brothers of Mercy, but we're going to be social distancing. So we're going to have Russell Salvatore there, and I think we're going to have a little float, and he's going to be driving around, waving to everybody and saying hello. And they want to put me in a bucket of a fire truck. So they want to put me in the air with a wireless microphone, and I will be singing with my invisible band all of the great tunes that they grew up with. I think it's a fantastic idea. I've never sang in a fire truck before.
It might raise your pitch a little bit. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, that's right.
We're just about out of time for this segment, but I want to leave I want to leave the people with a sample of your music. Can you give me a little background on what we're going to show them now?
Yeah, sure. This is a recording I did in my home bedroom studio in Lancaster, New York, with my invisible band and with an invisible audience.
You weren't wearing pajamas, were you?
I did dress for the occasion.
Oh, okay. All right. This is a home bedroom studio. Okay. Yep. Let's go to that tape, take a look, and thanks so much for being my guest.
Thank you for having me.
Michael Nugent.
Meglio stasera, baby, go, go, go. Or as we natives say, fa subito. If you're ever gonna kiss me, it had better be tonight. while the mandolins are playing and stars are bright. If you've anything to tell me, it had better be tonight, or somebody else may tell me and whisper the words just right. Me lo esta sera, baby, go, go, go. Or as we natives say, vas subito. If you're ever gonna hold me, it had better be tonight, or somebody else may hold me. They might make me feel just right. Me esta sera, baby, go, go, go. Or as we natives say, passerito. For this poor Americano who knows a little of your speech, be a nice Italiana and start to teach. Go, hey, show me how an old mulatto, both the lovers hold each other oh so tight. But I warn you, sweet paisana, that it had better be tonight. Me lo esta sera, baby, go, go, go. Or as we natives say,